Good afternoon, Thunder Nation. It is so good to see you all once again after a long 2-week hiatus. Felt like 2 years to me, man. What a crazy, crazy time of the year. Happy belated Thanksgiving to all of you. I hope y'all had a wonderful holiday with your families, a wonderful first week. Back at it post-Thanksgiving. But as you can see, we're getting ready for another big holiday here on the Will to Win show and around the world. Christmas time is here. Very true. Christmas time is almost here. Well, Christmas time is here, depending on who you ask. But Christmas is almost here, folks. And the Thunder this year are lucky enough to have a Christmas Day game. Obviously, we won't be discussing that today, but I heard Christmas and just my mind went there. Anyway, let's look back for a second. Past 2 weeks, the Thunder are 6-0. I mean, I haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks, right? I haven't talked to you all in 2 weeks, 2 calendar weeks, guys. It's December 7th, right? It was, November 23rd last time I talked to you guys? It's been half of a month since then, and Thunder still haven't lost a game. In fact, the Thunder haven't lost a game since, when was that? I forget the exact day, but it was like our 6th or 7th. Oh, my goodness. Our 6th or 7th game of the season. Maybe I'm off on that. In Portland. We haven't lost a game since then. All right. The trend has continued up. All right. The trend has continued steady when you think win trend, but up in caliber of play trend. Folks, we are witnessing greatness. 14 wins in a row. We're on another incredible streak. How long will we keep it going? I don't know. We got quite the week coming up here. Anyway, we will get into all of that and more. Big episode here today for you all. I hope y'all are excited because I am. For the 7th time, welcome to the Will to Win show.
Got after the gather, the two-step.
DB, those tears are becoming.
Seasons of NBA.
They are looking up at the sky. How good can we do? Everyone's in panic mode because the Thunder have a potential top 4 pick this season. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Where are we, folks? Where are we? Now you might answer that question in many different ways. I am in X location. I don't want to know your location. I'm asking this question in regard to where are the Oklahoma City Thunder today? I already touched on it a little bit. Still, incredible. 14 wins in a row, 6-0 in the past 2 weeks. Still incredible. But where are we? Has this level shifted up? Have we stayed steady? Where are we? What ground had the Thunder made up in the past 2 weeks? Okay. The title of this episode is Looking Up from Unseen Heights. Okay, you might be thinking, what does that mean? A lot of you are probably thinking, I know exactly what that means. I'm picking up what he's throwing down. Or should I say what he's throwing up? I'm not throwing up. That would be disgusting. But I'm throwing ideas up, and we're looking up from unseen heights. So basically what I'm trying to say is, I don't think the Thunder have ever been this good. I know last year was the greatest year we've ever had, and we had a lot of great stretches, in that season. Namely, you think back to, early 2025, in that stretch where we beat Boston to go up 15 straight wins, New York, previously. That stretch we were incredible. Beat Cleveland at home by 30 plus. When I look at the best Thunder basketball I've ever seen, if we're talking just what you're going to get every night, this is the best product the Thunder have ever put out and some of the best product I've ever seen in the NBA. And I'm going to get into that, what I mean by that, and kind of dig deeper into what I'm saying there. But what I'm trying to say is that's the unseen heights portion of that quote, right? We haven't seen this level of consistent greatness as fans. We haven't. And the NBA has not for a long time, guys. They haven't. A lot of teams, a lot of players in this league, you get to a certain point, you get to a certain level of success, and you look down. You look down under you. Who's there? Who's looking up at us? Who's talking down below us? What are the narratives? What's everyone saying? Is everyone talking about us? Okay, they are. Good. The Oklahoma City Thunder are looking up at the sky. They have already reached the mountaintop, are climbing higher than the mountaintop this season, and they're still looking up. When they say the sky is the limit, they mean there is endless opportunity for how good this Thunder team could be. We've reached the sky. We have reached the sky in terms of great on-court performance from a basketball team. We have reached the sky because we can count on one hand the amount of teams that you've seen in history play the high-level basketball the Thunder are playing right now. Okay? I'm not going to do that because I don't want to start that debate. I don't think there are 5. I don't think there are 3. Okay? That's how good we are. 14 straight wins. Portland, Minnesota, Phoenix. All right? Bring your mind back 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to go too deep into it. That first Portland win, blowout, big night from Shea. Okay, think back to that. Minnesota and Phoenix were 2 very interesting games. Thanksgiving week, we had Wednesday night and Friday night. Wednesday night, everyone's cooking. Everyone's getting ready for Thanksgiving. Everyone's getting ready to travel. Thunder play a nationally televised game on ESPN against the Timberwolves coming home. And I remember we only had about an 81% chance, to win that game. And the previous episode of the podcast, I was saying that was one that week I was particularly a little bit nervous about because Minnesota would be hungry, right? And they were. They put up a good fight, a good solid fight. But the Thunder prevailed. Thunder pulled through, did Thunder things, came alive in the fourth, and won the game. I've seen people say online, which is pretty funny, people say the Thunder are just an anomaly because there's 2 options of what's going to happen to you in any given night against the Thunder this season, okay? They're going to completely rip you to shreds and tear you apart. Game will be over by the end of the third quarter. Shea will sit. Starters will sit. Game's over, right? Or you'll play with him. You'll play great basketball. Stay with the Thunder the whole way. Shea will come in and rip you to shreds in the fourth and end the game on his own if he has to. That's what we saw against Minnesota. That's what we saw also against Phoenix. 2 similar games. 2 strenuous, uncomfortable games, which was good for this team to experience on our home court. You are not unstoppable on the home court. Okay? You are very nearly unstoppable, but you have to play good basketball to win games. And the Thunder played just good enough to win those 2. Okay? Portland on the road, a little road trip. Portland and Golden State. Portland, hard-fought victory, man. That Portland team is tough. They're stingy. Thunder got the job done. Golden State, another stingy, tough game, right? Down what? Down, I think it was 12 at one point in that third quarter. Maybe not 12. I think it was like 8 or 12, one of those numbers. Can't remember the exact number. But you start to get worried, right? I never thought we were going to lose that game. But they're in a, Golden State's arena, Chase Center, is as lively as we've seen it all year, right? Warriors fans are hyped. The players are hyped. They're hitting some crazy shots. Thunder look like they're on the ropes. They find a way and prevail. Dallas. What a game there. I had the opportunity to be at that game. I'll get into that later, my experience there. But Friday night, another big-time win against a familiar foe. Obviously, they were depleted. We're depleted as well to an extent. A little bit of a rough first quarter. Thunder pull through, do Thunder things, take the win. We'll get more in depth into that game as we go here. So, yeah, Brybers broke down 6 games to you. Easy peasy. 6 wins, 14 straight, unseen heights. The Thunder are not looking under them They are looking up. We've heard players say it. We've heard Shea say it. We've heard Chet say it. There are no egos on this team. No egos. A bunch of young guys with a hell of a lot left to prove. You got one championship. Congratulations. If you don't win any others, it's a fluke. If you don't rise this year and keep getting better and better and better from what you are now, from what everyone's saying online and calling you one of the greatest ever, if you don't get better and you don't keep that up and you don't win a championship this year, it is an all-time disappointment. Responsibility. This team has a responsibility to be mature now, right? And they are doing it. They set that responsibility themselves, and their heads are not looking down. They're not going past that 180-degree angle there. They are looking up at the sky. How good can we be? They have the mindset of, let's push all-time limits. Let's push that 73-9 record. Let's see where we get to, right? I said 74-8. Why not 75-7? Why not 76-6? Why not 77-5? Why not 78-4? That's what we're on pace for, folks. That's what we're on pace for. Call me crazy for putting those numbers on this show. Do it. Call me crazy. I will take it as a compliment and run with it. Because I have only seen this team look up at the sky when they're already in the sky. And that's all I need to see. That's all I need to see to know this is something special. And if you're not going to hop on that train now, you're going to regret looking down at all. You're going to regret doubting this team because people doubt and doubt and doubt and doubt and doubt, but this team is proving them wrong every single game. Okay? I've said it probably every single episode of this show. Until the Thunder give me a reason to not believe they're going to do great things, I won't. But they've not given me one. Anyways, we're going to have a lot of discussions like that today. A lot of serious, look you in the eye and tell you, what are we watching? Because as I was leaving that game, against Dallas the other night, I was thinking to myself, what did I just watch, right? You don't want to watch these games and take for granted what you're watching, because in 20 years, you're going to look back on this and think, holy crap, I was watching history unfold in front of my eyes, right? So don't take it for granted. And if you watch this show, trust me, for at least about an hour, you will not. So stick around. Anyways, if you combine the last two seasons of Thunder basketball, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 90-15. And they want to tell us we can't get to 74-8. They want to tell us we can't. We're 90-15 the past two seasons. And our starters have only played in 13 of those regular season games. All our starting fives only played in 13 of those games. Come on now. Come on now. Thunder are the fourth team in NBA history to win 22 of their first 23 games in a season. Start tracking, folks. What is the greatest one-loss start of all time? Start tracking. Let's look it up. What is the greatest one-loss record to start an NBA season ever? Well, the Warriors went 24-0 in 2015-16. We all know that, right? So, in 23 game starts ever, the Warriors hold the number one spot, 24-0. At 22-1, we hold the second best 23 game start ever. So, obviously, that Warriors team stands in our way, but as we keep winning and keep winning and keep winning, records will continue to be broken. So, keep your eyes on that. 7 of these wins have been 20-plus point blowouts. We've seen a lot of these. We saw one the other night against Dallas. Less than half of these games, 11 out of 23, Shea has played in the fourth quarter. He's sat out the fourth quarter in over half of our games so far this season. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is no hot take today. All right? I may say some things that you might think are crazy and outlandish and optimistic, but there's no hot take today. There's no hot take segment because I don't think anything I say about this team right now is a hot take. I don't think it is. I think it would be disingenuous to say that, so I'm not going to say it. I want you to think back to 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago, maybe 6 years and a couple months. Back summer 2019, right? You trade Paul George for Shea and a bunch of picks. Sam Presti's trading for a bunch of sixth graders right now, right? He's trading for a bunch of sixth graders, ninth graders. He's trading for all these guys, right? Picks. They mean nothing. They mean nothing. Everyone jokes around. Thunder, enjoy your rebuild, poverty. Blazers entered your franchise. This goes on for a couple of years, rebuilding, right? Oh, here comes another 10th grader for Sam Presti to enjoy. Let's not say that. Another 10th grader for Sam Presti to scout for his basketball team. Trolls. Everyone's saying it online repeatedly, right? Now, fast forward to today, right? We endured all that for so long. You lose. I saw it was this past week was the, I think, 4 or 5 year anniversary of our 73-point loss to Memphis. Remember that night? Oh my goodness. You just turn off your phone. You don't want to hear anything from anybody, right? You don't want to hear anything. Obviously, we're rebuilding. Say what you want. Whatever. All that talk. Now, fast forward to today. Open up your phones. Here's what you hear. It's unfair. It's just unfair. Cancel the season. It's unfair. All this talent on this roster. How did the Thunder get all this talent, right? Oh my gosh, the league's in shambles. Oh my gosh, everyone's so stressed. Everyone's in panic mode because the Thunder have a potential top 4 pick this season. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? It's unfair. It's unfair. Cancel the league. Adam Silver, step in and do something. Do something. These refs. Oh my gosh. These refs. How are the Thunder so good, right? Because it's easy when the refs give you 30 free throws a night, right? Even though the Thunder rank middle of the pack free throws per game, they give you 30 free throws per night, right? How is that fair? It's not fair. So, the word we hear, the word I said a lot, if you in my little acting monologue there, the word I said the most is unfair. That's what you see. People say it's unfair. The only reason they give for that, only real reason, the real critique they had that's, you could say is valid. It's not valid, but you could dive deeper into it, is the officiating. Okay? I've dove into that debate before. It's not worth my time. Like I said, we're looking up, not down. We don't look down at those comments, right? All we hear about is the officiating. Why is that? Why is that the only valid reason they give for our success when they try to negate the greatness they're watching? Because there is nothing else to say. There is nothing else to say, and that is the beauty of what we're witnessing. The Thunder built this from scratch. They built this from the cards they were dealt. They built this the right way. They did what everyone has wanted a team to do throughout all of NBA history. To build something. Don't go buy something, build something. The Thunder did it, and they did it the right way. 60 years ago, think back to that moment. We endured. We watched. We believed. And now, we sit back and we enjoy. We sit back and we enjoy, and we continue looking up. Because the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, folks. We are on basketball cloud 9. And who knows, we could get to cloud 99 before it's all said and done, folks. I don't think anyone's ever gotten there. Now, I want to get into one critique I had about you can't just glaze. I could all day long about this team. One critique I have. So this week we saw a lot of no Isaiah Hartenstein, who is 6th on the MVP ladder, by the way, folks. How about Isaiah Hartenstein? My MVP right there. No Lou, no Alex Caruso. And we saw, aside from Dallas, a lot of kind of juggernaut, kind of grind it out, Shea takeover, leaning, just kind of more tense games in this stretch. A lot more weak, a lot more turnovers, a lot more, kind of weak moments, kind of scattered moments. I think we're seeing how important those three guys are. Specifically, I want to talk about Isaiah Hartenstein. He is the anchor of this team on the court, the anchor, right? Obviously, there's many parts to a boat that are extremely important, probably more important than an anchor. You could get from point A to point B without an anchor, and Thunder have this past 2 weeks. But your anchor is going to ensure you're the best you could possibly be and keep you stable and grounded and not rocking around and potentially flipping over, right? Isaiah Hartenstein will, what he's going to do? He's going to get you rebounds. He's going to create. He's going to set screens. He's going to give everyone the best looks possible. And we haven't had that. Obviously J-Dub came back. It's great to see J-Dub play this week. These past 2 weeks. Love to see him back at it. But no one stepped in and filled in for Isaiah Hartenstein, and that's to be expected. There's not really a natural Isaiah Hartenstein kind of replacement of sorts on this roster. Maybe Thomas Sorber would be that guy. Who knows? But Isaiah Hartenstein is an anomaly in this league, and I think he is one of the most underrated players in this league. I think he's a top 5 big man in this league. I think he's potentially a top 3 big man in this league. Because he's going to give you what he's going to give you, and he's going to do it in a unique and elite way. What he does is not your average big man, right? He will create, and he will defend the crap out of anybody, right? He's going to do his job. Plus, you were talking about physicality standpoint, losing Lou Dort and Alex Caruso in a week. You're really going to say you got to look at yourself, take a deep look in the mirror, and say who is going to step up and be that guy in a physical moment of basketball. I think we saw Cason Wallace step up at times. I think we saw guys step up, but overall, there was a lack of physicality on the court this week. And that is something that if these injuries persist, we could see it hurting us more than it even did this week. And if you're looking long term, there's no point in looking long term right now because what we're doing and we should be enjoying it, right? But I hate to break it to you guys, Isaiah Hartenstein is not going to be a Thunder for lifer. He won't. He won't. And it's beautiful to see how valuable he is to this team. I think right now, so far this season, he's been our second most valuable player on the roster. Hence why he's 6th in MVP, in the MVP race right now. Take a deep look at his value, all right? And you'll see how important it is that other guys step up and look at Hartenstein and gain that insight from him to become that guy when he's not on the court, because we need someone to be a calming, stable presence on the offensive end and the defensive end. And without Isaiah Hartenstein in the game, we're struggling to have that at times. So, next, I want to take you all, I want to take you guys on a journey through my eyes and kind of tell you the story of my experience in Oklahoma City on Friday. So, I know a lot of you guys might not get to go to OKC a lot. I don't personally. I don't live in Oklahoma City. It's rare that I have time to get down there. Especially the season ticket prices are really high. It's a when you're a good team, it comes with the cost. You might not get to go to games as much, and that's okay. That's a sacrifice we're all willing to make, right? But let's take a step back and look at what it's like to go to a Thunder game at this time with this team and watching that game in person. Okay. So, back at, I went to Game 7 of the finals last year. Don't ask how, don't ask why. Obviously, you know why, but I was there. Okay, I was there. One of the most incredible days of my life. And as I was waiting in line to get in, I waited about 2 hours at the door because I wanted to get in early and make the most of that experience. I met this couple named Susan and Bob, and they were from Kansas. Thunder basketball has a way of bringing people together, and I just love it. They are incredible people. and we became friends. We went down there, got Shay's autograph on that program. And my goodness, what great people they are. We got exchanged numbers, got a picture together, and they messaged me, reached out, and they had an extra ticket to this game on Friday and swung by, picked me up, and we met again, got to know each other even better. They picked up another guy named John, who's one of Bob's friends, and it was his first Thunder game ever. He's works in Channel 9 News up in northeast Oklahoma, and seeing the game through his eyes was awesome. He knows ball. He's a ball knower. Him and Bob and Susan even, they all know what they're talking about. They know their stuff. It was a blast. So I just want to say thank you to them if they're listening to the show. Thank you guys. Y'all are incredible. Hope I get to see you guys soon. Smooth, fluid basketball is what I have here. Okay, watching that game, you just sit there and you watch, and it's so poetic. I say these words: smooth, fluid, poetic. The player you think of is SGA, and obviously it all runs through him, especially in that Dallas game. It all flowed through him. But everyone's playing to their roles. Everyone's doing their job, and it's a beautiful sight to see. Once again, the greatest basketball I've ever witnessed in my entire life. But what's incredible about this is that it's a grassroots, humble environment, right? You go and you park in those parking lots near the stadium. You walk up and you walk in the middle of Oklahoma, walk into an all-time great NBA team, and an almost humble arena. It's a beautiful arena, but it's compared to others, it's humble. Prices aren't insane. You can get in, and anyone can get in this game and go have fun with their kids and their families. John, the guy I was telling you all about, it was his first Thunder basketball game ever. He said one of the things he said to me after the game was, "Imagine the New York Knicks were 22-1. Imagine if the New York Knicks were 22-1 right now. What would the world be like?" Right? Obviously, there's blessings around the hype. You get more hype, for the franchise. Sales go up. You get more media attention, whatever. But I almost love, almost the lack of hype more, because obviously in Oklahoma there's a lot of hype. Everyone's talking about the Thunder. Everyone's got Thunder merch. Everyone. I mean, it is the talk of the town. Obviously, you see OKC's having the benefits: new arenas, new soccer franchises, new everything popping up, new businesses, new districts. Like, the team is exponentially just blasting the economy of Oklahoma City and Oklahoma in general, right? But an average game experience is like it's always been. It's so beautiful to see. This is what basketball is all about. It brings anyone and everyone together. And it was just a beautiful sight to see on Friday night. And I wanted you all to get the sense of that, in a short, I don't want to explain everything that happened in that game. Just a short, little summary for me, that if you don't go to Thunder games, I have a lot of followers message me and say, hey, like, on Instagram, and say, hey, like, that's awesome you get to go to that game, because, like, I've never been to a Thunder game. Like, what's it like? And I'm like, you know what? It's just what you'd expect it to be. Just a lot of good people getting together and watching a lot of good guys play basketball. A lot of kids, a lot of families, a lot of just beautiful things. Basketball the way it was meant to be played. Not for the ads, not for the money, for the love of the game. And the Thunder play for the love of the game. They play for the good of the sport. They play for each other and for their city and for their fans. Not for the Emirates ads on the court and the Corvettes and obviously some Thunder players like their fashion and their cars. But overall, you can tell, it's a very right-minded environment, and I love it. I love it. It makes you feel good to be a fan of this team. All right, everybody, before we take a look ahead into the upcoming week of Thunder basketball we have, I want to, as always, honor a player for their incredible performance for the past 2 weeks in our Hats Off segment. So welcome to Hats Off, everybody. Our leaders this week, our leaders this season, actually, AJ Mitchell with 2 Hats Off victories. Brooks Barnheiser 1, Usman Jang 1, Kason Wallace 1, and SGA 1. And I'm just going to tell y'all now, Hats off to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for an incredible 2 weeks of basketball, folks. SGA, folks. 37 on 13 of 18 shooting versus Portland on the 23rd. Only missed 5 shots. Incredibly efficient night. Took over, won the game for us. 40 at home on 12 for 19 shooting against Minnesota the day before Thanksgiving, right? The game I talked to you guys about. Shai took over and won the game for us. 37, once again, 37, 40, 37 that week. Against Phoenix, NBA Cup game, Shai take over once again on 2 for 20 shooting. 26 on 8 of 15 shooting at Portland. 38 points at Golden State, had to take over to win us these games. And then in Dallas, he didn't take over, but he did his thing. 33 on 10 for 12 shooting against Dallas. No fourth quarter. Man, I was talking to a friend. 50, 40, 90 club is in question, folks. It's there. His three-point shooting has been incredible. But the free throws, I mean, he's missing a few free throws here and there, and that's going to hurt his 90 chances. If he doesn't get 50, 40, 90 club off free throws, it's going to be really frustrating. Obviously more for him than for me, but I'd feel bad for him. So lock in on those free throws, Shai. So, obviously, I read you all those stats. Incredible weeks for Shai. Shai's doing Shai things. As always, he's consistent. His whole life's consistent. But why hats off this week? Here's a stat that really sticks out and that doesn't get talked about enough. Guess how many turnovers SGA had in all those 6 games combined? 1 turnover in the Dallas game. Efficiency. You heard all those, shooting split stat lines I gave you. Efficiency, production, and high IQ and discipline, right? Efficiency, production, discipline, 1 turnover combined in 6 games. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is the greatest player in basketball. He is. Watch a full game and tell me I'm wrong. Watch a full game and tell me I'm wrong. This version of SGA is one of the greatest players we've ever seen play the game of basketball. Watch a full game and tell me I'm wrong. People will say, "Oh, Jokic, look what Jokic is doing right now. Luka's putting up 35." Watch the game and tell me I'm wrong. Compare minutes, compare efficiency, compare splits, compare everything. The way SGA plays the game is so fluid, is so consistent. You know what you're going to get, and he's going to get it. He's going to get what he wants whenever he wants it. That's how good he is. And I want all the smoke. Leave all your comments. Let me know what you think. And then, like I said, there's no hot takes this episode. There's no hot takes because that's not a hot take. It's not a hot take anymore. I'm sorry. Anyway, hats off to SGA. He's now tied with AJ for 2 hats off victories, and SGA is getting his spot at number 1, tied with AJ, I guess. And hats off, and it's likely a spot he'll stay this season because he is the best player in the world. So lastly, let's get into our weather report for the week. As you can see, a little interesting week this season. Shout out to the NBA for better or for worse, giving a little bit of midseason excitement with the NBA Cup. Tonight at 7 o'clock p.m., Utah. Now, you might be thinking, why is this the lowest percentage of victory we've seen since Houston Game 1, essentially, or that first week? Because no Shai tomorrow. No Shai due to, I think, an elbow contusion. No Shai, no Lou, no Caruso, no iHeart. The 3 I mentioned that were so vital for us this past week, having them gone hurt. Now you delete Shai from that mix. We're going to need a dub or a Chet Legacy game in this one to do what we need to do. Utah's going to see us as vulnerable, and they're going to come at us hard. I hope it's not a trap game, but it might be. 122-108 Thunder win. No reasons to not believe that our guys will step up and take control. Someone will step up and be that guy. And I'm hoping it's J-Dub. I want to see him really, without Shai, be that guy, as we know he can be and we know he is. Okay. Wednesday against Phoenix, quarterfinal of the NBA Cup. 82.7% Oklahoma City Thunder victory. That's the odds. But Phoenix gave us a run for our money a few weeks ago. That's a good little squad they have, a good little feisty squad they have in Phoenix. And Devin Booker will likely be back for this game. So expect a push from the Suns. Expect a desperate push to make Vegas. It'll be a battle. But at the same time, expect a retooling of our roster. Those 4 guys I mentioned out today, all potentially back against Phoenix. So we'll see what that happens there. I think that will be enough to push us to, let's say, I'll go 118 to 106 Thunder victory. I think Phoenix is going to hit a lot of shots, and they're going to be feisty. Dillon Brooks is going to be doing Dillon Brooks things. So, I think we'll win that game. I don't think it'll be the prettiest, but I think it will be fun. Especially with guys coming back. When guys come back, we can be a little shaky sometimes. You got to get in the groove. You got to break that ice, break that wear. So, lastly, I want to just get into, I know we have a TBA here. Obviously, we win that Phoenix game, we go straight to the Cup quarterfinals. If we don't, we get a few days off, which is nice. It's a win-win. But obviously, we want to play these games. We want to get to Vegas again, get some revenge after losing in the NBA Cup Finals last year. So here's our official NBA Cup bracket predictions from the Little Win Show. So on the East side, we had the 1-seeded Magic against the 4-seeded Heat, and the Raptors and the Knicks. You know what? The Eastern Conference, I've been not completely keeping up with this week. I know the Magic and the Heat are both solid teams. You look at the Magic with the Wagner brothers.
Yeah, well,
obviously Paolo. Desmond Bane's been playing great for him. Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, a good squad, well-rounded squad there in Orlando. Miami, you got a lot of guys who, a lot of kind of a retool there. They have, Tyler Hero just came back. Bam's been playing great. Andrew Wiggins been playing good basketball. Lots of dudes for Miami, namely Norman Powell. Norman Powell coming from LA. They've really shown how much they needed him last year from the Clippers side of things. I think, goodness gracious, Magic will be hosting that game. I'm going to go with Orlando to pull it out. I'm not going to give a score on that because I just don't know enough about these teams and their scoring. I couldn't tell you much. But I think Orlando will pull it out. Raptors, Knicks. The Raptors are having a hell of a year, and the Knicks are obviously being as good as advertised. I think the Knicks will pull this game out because I don't think the NBA will allow for a Magic Raptors Vegas game. I don't think they'll allow for that. Lakers Spurs. This is just what the NBA wanted to hear. I think this is a toss-up. I really think that Wemby's going to want to get to that Vegas game. But I also do think that Luka and Bron will too. But Bron's been, obviously, we know Bron's not been Bron, and he's out for a while with injury. I think San Antonio pulls this game out, and we will see our first look at San Antonio in Vegas. And I think that'll be a dogfight. I think we're going to have our work cut out for us in that game. Goodness. I obviously going to pick us to win because, like I said, until you give me a reason not to pick us, I won't. Give me the Thunder 123 to 122. I think this, or 102, not 122. I think the Spurs won't be ready for what we have to give because that's one of the teams we haven't seen yet. I think them not seeing us helps us more than them, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I think their lack of preparedness and experience with our team in the full form since they've last seen it, it's all the playoff stuff and all that. I think they're going to be a little caught off guard. I think the Christmas Day game will be a lot more tough. I think they'll be a little out of their element being in Vegas in an environment where all those young guys are not used to that big-time game yet. So I think we'll really kind of welcome them to that environment and take a pretty coastal win. So then it'll be us against, goodness, Magic Knicks. Give me Orlando to win that. Us Orlando. I guess this is technically would be next Tuesday. It wouldn't be part of this week. But give me the Thunder win the NBA Cup. Give me the Thunder win the NBA Cup. Whatever, Thunder beat the Magic in the Cup Finals, let's say 125 to 116. Just in case I get all these right, I want to share it later. That's my Cup predictions. About what you expect me to say. I mean, maybe not Orlando to the finals. I just have a feeling about them. I think they're gonna have they're bound to have a moment this year. They have a good roster and they have a lot of hype. They're gonna have a moment. I don't know if it'll be now or later in the playoffs. I think this will be their moment to give the NBA a run and put the NBA on notice a little bit. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming back. I know it's been a little bit, and so you guys being here means a lot to me. I'll have some updates for you all next week. Things in the show might look a little different here in the future, but until then, episode might come out a little late next week. I'm a college student, so I have finals coming up and everything, so it's going to be a grind. But obviously, Thunder basketball will persist, and so will I, in watching them and posting daily on @OKC_will-to-win on Instagram. OKC_will-to-win if you want my daily thoughts, reactions, highlights, whatever. Follow there. That's where I'll be. If you like this and want to subscribe, follow at The Will to Win Show, Spotify, YouTube. If you're here, you're here for something brought you here, so might as well stick around. I really appreciate you guys, and have a good week. Have a good week. We're getting close to Christmas. I know it's a busy time of year for a lot of people, so praying for all of you. Keep it up. Love you guys, and Thunder up.